And we are live with another edition of the Daily Crypto Byte. Today is Wednesday, June 16th. And, we had a pretty exciting day in the market yesterday, CJ. Today, we're coming back down to earth a little bit, but still plenty to talk about. Dr. Doge is unavailable to join us today. He will be back tomorrow, just on a few other calls today. But how you doing today, CJ?
Good, Monty. Not too bad. A little sell-off in Bitcoin, down from 40K today, hitting 39. But it's nice to see that we're kind of, back testing that channel and finding some tentative support for the moment. So always good there. Also, a lot of interesting action in the altcoins. I mean, AMP is still really pumping. I know we have some people talking about that, and we will get to some others. But what about yourself? What do you feel about Bitcoin today? Anything notable?
Yeah, no, it seems like it's going to plan pretty much what we've been saying, that consolidation below 42K. Once again, we kind of got rejected right before that level. I think people, there's a lot of eyes on that level right now. So I think that's why, one of the many reasons why it's going to be so significant going forward. But, we just didn't have the volume or momentum to break through that critical level, CJ. But I'm going to pull up the Bitcoin chart now because, there is some interesting stuff going on despite the fact that we were unable to break above that critical level that I just mentioned. What I think is worth noting is the fact that, it's becoming more and more clear that to me, that we're, in for a period of consolidation. Typically when we're looking at these candles, what I would expect is a continuation of this trend following this green engulfing candle right here, this bullish 5 candle. Typically, I'd expect a stronger continuation above the level of 42K. But just because of the critical nature of this level, it stopped that trend cold in its tracks. We talk a lot about the TD sequential indicator, CJ. This only got to, a 7 before it was rejected. We got this sort of spinning top candle and now are minting a rather bearish red 8 candle here. So I think we're headed back down, possibly, into the 36K range, right in the middle of this consolidation range. At the worst, I think we're looking at possibly a retest of 32K, but that's what I'm seeing right now. I'd be curious to hear what you're seeing on this chart yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm a very similar opinion. We're hitting that 9 later this evening, so it'll be interesting to see, what happens as the Asian market opens and that session begins. Because, we're hitting that sell 9 and we're coming up just on an immense level of resistance at 40 and 42K. So honestly, a come down and a form of support at 36K would not surprise me in the slightest. I think it would actually be good to put in kind of a higher low at that level when compared to just, our other lower lows of around 32K or 30K. So that might be a very definite possibility. And that's what I kind of expect to happen throughout this evening and maybe earlier tomorrow.
I'm right there with you. I've been seeing a lot of people in our chat as well talking about the possibility of retesting 36K. I know a lot of people took some profit last night on just some short-term trades. And, I like to use our room as kind of a cross section of the greater crypto universe. I think a lot of people are doing exactly what the traders in our room were doing as well. But let's move on to ETH because, we talk about how it moves in tandem with Bitcoin. It is moving in tandem with Bitcoin again today. But once again, CJ, when we look at this chart, it's just from a technical formation perspective, it's showing such a different chart pattern than Bitcoin. But today, Bitcoin sells off, ETH sells off. It's a pattern we've seen in the past. It's a pattern that will likely always be present in the Bitcoin space. But what are you seeing on the ETH chart today? Anything interesting?
I do think that ETH is actually very similar to Bitcoin in the sense that it's still very range bound. It's facing a lot of resistance at 2,600, very similar to how Bitcoin's facing resistance at like 40 and 42K. So I expect Ethereum to follow Bitcoin, and that may lead to a further sell-off if we are to go down to like 36K. But as of now, I don't see anything that's inherently telling me that ETH is like more bearish than Bitcoin. It may be more bearish than Bitcoin as a result of having higher beta when compared to just BTC. That's something we've kind of seen is stronger sell-offs in ETH and in the alts when Bitcoin actually does take profit. So that is one interesting thing to note there.
Yeah, CJ, that relationship between Bitcoin and ETH has been so critical going back, all the way to 2016. One thing that we've been talking a lot about is Bitcoin dominance. I think you made a good point yesterday when you mentioned the fact that, Bitcoin dominance could potentially, get into the 50s while Bitcoin is correcting down into the 36K range. Is that still something that you see as likely, a perhaps move into the 50s for Bitcoin dominance? And what would that look like for the price action in Bitcoin and ETH?
Well, it would probably look like, Bitcoin going down. Let's say just hypothetically, Bitcoin were to go down 5%. I think ETH would be down 9 or 10%. A lot of other alts would be down, 10%. And so, sure, when Bitcoin sells off, it's obviously buyers aren't stepping in, but when you compound that with the altcoin market, it's almost a greater loss. So with that being said, if everything falls, but Bitcoin is the one that falls the least, then obviously you're going to have Bitcoin dominance increasing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Before we get to our Doge of the day today, CJ, we have a very special guest, a guest that we've had on our show before, but one that we're bringing back this week for a quick segment with us. So hold on one sec, let me just fix one thing. You guys asked for him back, so he's back. The one, the only crypto kid, Jace. How's it going, my friend?
Good.
We're really glad to have you back. So we're giving you a couple minutes today. Anything interesting going on in the crypto world that you want to tell the audience about today?
Well, a few days ago, my neighbor, Stephen Dean, had a giant water slide in their backyard. So I decided to mention crypto to them. Surprisingly, they didn't even know what Bitcoin, they didn't even know what cryptocurrency was.
Wow.
And kids at school, only one of my classmates knew what crypto was. And I do want more kids. I hope they see the videos here and they learn about, it inspires them and they can spread the word about crypto. And I do about NFTs. I saw a bunch of NFTs at the Bitcoin 21 conference in Miami, Florida. I looked and searched NFTs on the OpenSeas app. I do have one NFT, the Moon Passed by Mr. Cryptotal. It's Ethereum based. This is the physical item. And this is the NFT. And the physical item can also be a wallet. So on the back of this, it's a wallet. And it's very, very interesting for me.
Yeah, that is really interesting. It's cool that you're branching into NFTs as well. I just have a quick question about the water slide party you were at. How was everyone, when you're talking about crypto to these people that apparently have been living under a rock and have never heard of Bitcoin or crypto, how was their reaction when you were telling them about Bitcoin? Were they excited? Were they, a bit hesitant and nervous?
They were kind of like, what is that? When I told them, like, do you know what crypto is? They're like, what is crypto? And it's like, oh my
gosh. Yeah. It's not an easy task to explain to people exactly what it is or what all the benefits are. But I gotta say, Jace, you're a very impressive brand ambassador for cryptocurrency and Bitcoin in general. And thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your story with us. We are very excited to have you back on next week. So enjoy your Wednesday, and we'll see you again next week, Jace.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Well, how about that, CJ? I mean,
the crypto kid.
The crypto kid.
Awesome. Thank you, Chase.
That's what we need. More people like him that are spreading the love at the pool parties, getting the word out, word of mouth. Very important stuff. But what do you say, CJ? Should we hop into our doges of the day today? Because the altcoins have been, actually performing pretty well over the past couple of days. So what do you say?
Yeah, I have an interesting one today.
Yes, you do. You sent it to me, and even I was like, what in the world is this? So
I dug this up from just hunting volume.
yeah, you must have,
Dr. Doge would be proud.
there you go. There you
Um,
go.
But yeah, this one is named ticker symbol Pearl. I believe the name is Perlin. So that's PERL. And the reason why I picked this one is purely a technical and volume play. We are up over 130%, I believe, in terms of average trading volume. We saw a huge spike in volume yesterday with price following. And so I always like to equate volume to like voting power. You know, it's buyers who are voting that the price is going to go up. And therefore, I really like this, and I like the potential of a continuation, because volume is really one of the only leading indicators we have when it comes to technical analysis. So that one, I'm going to be looking for a continuation of up to possibly even 15 cents. I mean, that would really be the only next resistance level. So we'll be watching that one, but that's going to be my Doge today. What about you, sir?
That's an interesting one, CJ. I will be watching that as well. I think the break above that level that you mentioned looks like there's very little resistance beyond that. So cool play. Thank you for digging up some interesting volume for us there. My play today is one that I talk about quite a bit. I haven't talked about it in a while, though, and that is Mana, Decentraland. And the reason I'm picking this one today is mostly because of the technicals. Also over on Trade the Chain, our friends with the AI sentiment dashboard, Mana's daily and hourly sentiment was among the highest in the cryptoverse this morning. So, you guys know I love to mention the TD sequential buy nines. We got a pretty nice looking one just 5 days ago. I think it was on Saturday. And I'm looking for a bounce from there. One thing I like about entering a long trade following a TD sequential nine is that there are critical levels to the downside. So for me, I could enter a long trade now, and that's exactly what I'm going to do after this episode. I'm going to enter a long trade with a stop just below that critical level at about 62.6 cents. So maybe, 61.5 is where I'll put the stop loss. Because for me right now, looking at this chart, there's just so much room to the upside. One other thing I always talk about is the flipping of previous resistance into newfound support. And I think we can also expect to see that from Mana. Mana, this chart almost does remind me of Bitcoin, of the Bitcoin chart, in a sense that the run-up happened very quick and we're almost right back where we started. We're approaching this level that was a very critical level when we were running to the upside, which is right around about 59 cents. So looking at this chart, there's strong support to the downside, little resistance to the upside. That for me is a good indication to enter a long trade. And I'll be doing exactly that after today's episode. My goal will be to take profit, maybe just under $1, maybe 9.95, 95 cents, around that range, because we do have some resistance from the former buy nine that we got 2 weeks ago. So I do expect some resistance in that range, but that is my Doge of the day today, CJ.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm looking for Benjamin Kim in the comments, but he's not there yet.
Give him some time. Give him some time. He's usually pretty quick, but I did ramble a bit there. So, there it is. There it is. There he is, our boy.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I am gonna we got to send him something. We're out of shirts, but we just ordered a bunch of new swag. So maybe he'll be one of the first ones to get some of that newly printed Market Rebellion swag.
Yeah, absolutely. We are trying to build out the merch Market Rebellion as the company expands far beyond crypto as well. But thank you for watching, everyone. Don't forget, the sponsor of this program is Voyager. If you're looking for a place to buy cryptocurrencies, they recently added Sushi, Matic, Aave, and a bunch of other cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, Sushi, CJ. That was big. Sushi, was it 2 days ago they got listed? I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for that one for a while. So when John was picking Uni as one of his plays, I almost picked Sushi as my Doge of the day today, but it does look like it might be in for a couple more days of bearish price action. So be on the lookout for that. Maybe I'll pick it on Friday or something. But sorry for interrupting your plug, CJ. Continue.
Yeah, but if you'd like to sign up for Voyager, use the promo code REBEL25 and they will give you $25 in Bitcoin after you fund the account with at least $100. So pretty good initial starter offer there. Also, if you'd like to hear more updates and more trade ideas from Monty and myself, as well as cryptocurrency education, check out the link below and you can sign up at marketrebellion.com/try crypto and get the first month for just $1. So we appreciate that, guys. And thank you for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day today.